Hands over heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So since it's a special meeting, we only have one item to address tonight, so let's get to the agenda.
Okay, our first and only item tonight is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the operating budget for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022, appropriating sums set forth therein and determining and fixing the real estate tax levy.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the errata sheet to adjust certain line items in the budget.
Do I have a second?
I will.
Who got that? I'm sorry.
I think Liz did.
Liz? Okay. Voting, Councilmember Delury.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel.
Yes.
Councilmember Treston.
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis.
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Okay. So with that motion, we just reduced the tax increase by 1.5%. So everybody should be very happy about that. So with that, I will ask if there's any questions from the council regarding the budget line items as that were amended by the errata sheet. Okay, seeing none. Dave, do we have any from the public?
Yes. Robin Donovan.
Okay.
Go ahead, Robin.
Hello, John. How are you?
Hello. Welcome back.
Okay. I have a quick question. All but 85,492 is offset with new projections in cost from May 4th. So under 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 14, 15, 17 on the errata sheet, all additional position or additional compensation is adding up to $349,948. Under the new errata sheet, the city is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for new positions. Are they all really necessary? And if so, why weren't they proposed in the original budget? Thank you.
Okay. Donna or Ina, you want to address that?
Yeah, I will try to address that. Hi, good evening. With this errata, the overall amount of the budget did not change. So what changed on the revenue side was the fact that after budget was proposed, beach capacity was the estimate of the beach capacity had changed based on the communications from the county of Nassau and the state. So that's the revenue side, and that did not change. What it did, it was just allowed the city to not increase taxes by as much as we had originally had a necessity for. In terms of expenses, after budget was submitted about a month ago, my office received multiple requests for various additional items to be funded in the budget. And we don't usually take it very lightly, especially once the document, for those who saw the budget online, when a document like that is published, we have very little appetite to make any changes to that. And a lot of thought. It's a very lengthy process. We probably started this budget planning back in December. So when all of these positions that you're questioning, the ones that were added, they were explained to me, and I always defer to the operational managers that they're absolutely necessary. So when the commissioner of the fire department tells me that they need to have a additional paramedic hired because they cannot operate with 9, but for their schedules to be efficient, they need 10. And they showed to me that makes sense to add it here. Also, we had a request to hire additional person in a youth and family services area. There staffing requirements, and there are it's not like in certain departments you could say, well, you can do the same job with 4 people as with 5. You can't really, because you have to have minimum staffing there. So for things like that, obviously we had to make these changes. If we what helped us a lot to accommodate a lot of those changes was that couple of days after budget was published, the proposed budget was published, we received communication from the Department of Labor that informed us that unemployment taxes will be suspended. New York State unemployment taxes will be suspended for the duration of the pandemic. So that allowed us to really reduce budgeted amount in that line and accommodate requested increases in salaries in other departments. But that's basically how we go about it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Robin. All right, Dave, who's next? Oh, I see Roy just popped up.
Roy Lester. Go ahead, Roy.
Okay. Go ahead, Roy.
Listen, guys, to be honest, we're going up 13.6%, kind of disappointing. You keep going like that, compounded. Somebody buys a house, 30-year mortgage. At the end of the 30 years, our city budget is $6.5 billion, and it goes up $1 billion a year. If it stayed at this rate, I'm hoping it doesn't stay at this rate. Anyway, what was just explained was that when you did the original budget, the department heads didn't ask or didn't put it in on time. We're talking $350,000 in additional positions, after you've done a budget. And as far as I know, none of them were denied. I don't get it. Also, the unemployment last year, when we had a pandemic, it was 200,000. This year, it's going down to 50,000. Is this going to be one of those things that we're going to have to pay back later, like we did with saving money by not paying the FICA? I mean, now we're $2 million in debt because we didn't pay that. But, there are a lot of questions on this. Like in the recreation department, we're reinstating a previously laid off employee, 56,000. We didn't know that ahead of time. And we're also hiring a licensing clerk, another 56,000. And it doesn't look like we had that position before. I don't understand that. We talk about the city manager's position. We're going to have a deputy city manager. Well, great. So we're not having the executive assistant to the city manager. Oh, wait a second. That's moved over to the publicity department. So we're increasing that. And listen, I think a deputy city manager is a great idea. But now we're going to have a deputy city manager and an executive to the city manager. And that's another 110,000. Well, the deputy city manager is 150,000. When I try to look at the police department things, I look at the number of employees and it's all over the place. And I don't think, I think it's just, not caught up. Because, for example, the school crossing guards, you have 7 of them and the costs have gone up by $160,000. I don't think they all got $25,000 raises. I don't know because it doesn't break it down. And the police detectives, there's 6 of them.
Right. This is not a budget discussion. This is an errata discussion. Yes, it is.
And this is on the errata.
Roy, it's not a budget discussion.
John, John, just say that you don't want to talk about the budget.
Roy, yeah. We had 2 budget hearings. You were also told you could submit questions to the staff by email. We had 2 budget hearings. This is about the errata.
I want the public to be able to hear the questions.
Okay.
All right, and you
Roy, this isn't the
promised me
place
you
to
would.
grandstand, Roy, and
I'm not
campaign.
grandstanding, John. I'm asking about an additional $350,000 that nobody knew about 2 weeks ago. And then it came on the errata sheet.
Right. The budget numbers are the same as they were. Nothing has changed in the budget. The overall budget numbers are the same. So no matter how you try to spin it, the budget's still the same. In equals out. Nothing has gone up. Nothing's gone down.
Well, 85,000, but 85,000, I guess, isn't
And
much.
that's been offset by cuts elsewhere.
But
So
that's not what the
stop-
errata sheet says, John. Look at the errata
for
sheet.
goodness-
It doesn't
heaven's
say
sake,
that.
Roy, look at the errata sheet, Roy.
Yes.
Go
It
up to
says
page 1 of the errata sheet and look
Go
at
to
the
page
total
2, John.
increases. Right, Roy, that's breaking out the positions separately
No,
so
page-
people can see that. So stop trying to make this into something it is not.
John, it's not separate positions on the second sheet. Please look at it. Okay?
Right?
It's $85,000. All
identifying
right,
how
John,
the
listen.
position-
John, you don't have to answer the questions, okay? I was asking questions. You don't need to answer them.
That's your time, Roy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else, Dave?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, so thank you, folks, for joining us. We were able to keep this one short.
We got to vote. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Jeez, I keep doing that. Sorry. We got to vote on the budget itself now.
We got to vote. Okay. So
Sorry about that.
Item 1 is a resolution authorizing the adoption of the operating budget for fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th, 2022, appropriating some set forth therein and determining and fixing the real estate tax levy. Who introduced and move the adoption of this item as amended?
I will.
Second,
I will.
voting. Councilmember Delury,
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel,
Yes.
Councilmember Treston,
Yes.
Vice President McGinnis,
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Who will make a motion to close the meeting?
I will.
Second,
I will.
voting. Councilmember Delury,
This was to close the meeting?
this is to close
Yes.
the meeting.
Yes.
Councilmember Mandel,
Yes.
Councilmember Treston,
Yes.
Vice
And
President
thank you
McGinnis,
again, for everyone, for your hard work.
Vice President McGinnis,
Yes.
President Bendo.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now I can say it. Thanks for joining us, folks. And we will see you at the first meeting in June.
Live and in
And-
person.
And everyone have a good night.
Recording stopped.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
new.
that's new.
John, are we off?
Public is still on though.
Where's Donna? She had enough of us?
15 minutes?
You're still on with the public?
Public is still here.
Yeah.
Have a good night, all.
Have a good night,
Night.
everyone.
Have a good
Have a
night.
good night.